It's really good.
Episode 79.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about vertibirds.
Oh. I got the instructions.
All right.
We talked about that on a previous highlight.
Yeah. I will never forgive Chris for what he did to me.
See, I always thought you just never forgive me, but...
No, well, I mean, we could talk about it in a minute. Hold on. Designed for a series of VTOL crafts, vertical takeoff and landing crafts, the Vertibird Mark I, or the XVB-01, became the primary tilt-wing aircraft for the U.S. military. Deployed by the Department of Defense as early as 2072, some companies tried to make their own versions and then sell it to the military. Following the success of the initial design, the military commenced work on a superior model, hoping to improve on virtually every aspect: better armor, weapons, speed, and cargo capacity. I get all of my lore off of Fallout.wiki.com. By the year 2077, when the Great War breaks out, the new Vertibirds were not ready, and they were scheduled for release in 2085. Limited numbers were deployed during the Battle of Anchorage, almost as like a trial or a beta run. So, Vertibird 2, Electric Boogaloo, did come out, but not in full effect.
Okay, so it's like you're not going to just find them lying around or to be purchased from the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, well... Yeah. It was kind of like... the Vertibird 2 was kind of like, remember when Google Glass was a thing?
Yeah.
And, like, you could test Google Glass?
Yeah.
It's kind of what they were doing in Anchorage.
And then it just got erased from the face of the internet?
Pretty much. Well...
Nice.
The Enclave later finished the Vertibird 2, along with the X-01 power armor, sometime after the Great War. Now, there's the first generation... there's the first generation of Vertibird, the second generation of Vertibird, but the second generation, there was two types of ships. There was one for transport, and there was one that was a gunship. The transport one had a large glass canopy, 6 non-retractable landing struts, a spacious cargo bay, and 7 bladed rotors for extra lift. The gunship had a heavily armored hull, 4 rotor blades, 4 retractable landing struts, and better armament. Hold on a second. The Salvador family of New Reno used them in trade for capturing test subject for the FEV Curling 13 research program from Arroyo and Vault 13. Now, we're not going to go too into this, but this is kind of... this is another thing that'll get its own lore someday. It's one of those things where Arroyo was sick. They were trying to use the people from Arroyo. If I remember correctly from the notes that were on the website, they were taking people from there to experiment with FEV on them. Now that the Enclave was in full effect, they wanted to see if they can maybe use it to transform their soldiers, kind of like a Frank Horrigan type of deal, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Around 2242, the Chosen One stole Vertibird plans from the Navarro base, making it possible that the Vertibird plans ended up in various other wasteland factions. The destruction of the oil rig later in 2242 likely destroyed a large number of the aircrafts. When the Navarro military base was later conquered by the NCR, one Vertibird was taken specially, and this one shows up in New Vegas. I'll put a picture on screen of it. This was just for President Kimball. It was a special white and green Vertibird that's called Bear Force One.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's just for him. And there's the mission where you can assassinate President Kimball. You'll see it. I thought I lost you. In 2277, Enclave forces that relocated to the capital wasteland deployed a large fleet of Vertibirds to support their ground forces. A large number of crafts were once again pressed into service by the Eastern Division of the Brotherhood of Steel. This next part is bullshit. Having not been used since the days of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel, which is bullshit because they didn't get here. I don't give a fuck what you say. Maxon never left. It still bothers me.
I really didn't do enough of 76 to even get to that.
No, I know, but like, just to know that like they would retcon it just to be like, oh hey, you know that thing that's familiar? Well, it's here. Whatever. They later became widely used by 2287 by the Brotherhood, which you can see during the events of Fallout 4. The next part I'm going to read off of my cellular device.
Cheater.
Well, it's a lot.
Oop, I dropped something.
You need to.
Every single
Single time. The Vertibird has a heavily armored fuselage and can be outfitted with a variety of offensive weapons and defensive countermeasures, the most common being a Gatling laser, missile racks, and a mini nuke bay. It is unknown how the Vertibird is powered. However, dialogue with the Enclave remnants indicate a combustion fuel source. It has a winch that can haul several tons of equipment, or
a winch.
Sorry,
what's a winch?
Or a large deathclaw cage, like a
tow hitch.
Kind of like the first thing I'm thinking of is in GTA Online. I was playing with Kyle once, and we were doing a mission, and he had like almost like a Vertibird, like one of those helicopters that are like planes, but they have helicopter.
Yeah.
And he like landed on my car and picked up my car, and we did the mission.
Okay, so basically like a tow hitch
kind of, yeah.
But for the air.
Yeah.
A winch. I've never heard of that.
You never heard the word winch, really?
No, never heard it.
The Vertibird's VTOL flight mechanics allow it to approach landing zones with the speed of a fixed-wing aircraft and transition into a hovering mode of flight by tilting its rotors vertically upward 90 degrees. Given the extreme amount of maneuverability, the Vertibird is regarded as a formidable force in the Fallout universe. While the design of the Vertibird is convenient, its dual rotor blades serve as a flight hazard for the aircraft were to suffer a single rotary malfunction at a substantial attitude. The Vertibird's airframe and distribution of downwash could cause the aircraft to fall on its side in a dramatic and likely fatal crash.
Kind of like in Fallout 4.
Yeah, how
you just like shoot it a couple times and they come down.
Yeah. For the combat, Vertibirds are mostly support craft, but they will attack in few circumstances. They are a significant threat for a wide array of reasons, but the biggest is that they pack an enormous amount of firepower on an extremely well-armored chassis. Their weapons include a nose-mounted Gatling laser and all the things that I've already said. Vertibirds tasked with fire support are the biggest threat, and they eliminate engaging hostile forces to back up Enclave troops on the ground. These Vertibirds often perform bombing runs and make several passes to eliminate any resistance in the area. They're kind of cool in 4.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wish that you would have a chance to like fly around in one, like for real. Like, be able to control one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that you can, like, do that one mission where you're like, oh, let's do this, and then fucking...
And they, like, give you a ride up to the Pridwin, but, like, that's cool and all, but also...
Isn't there an item you throw and you can calm down to, like, traverse with them?
Yeah, but, like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
You don't get to, like, get in, like, GTA style and fly that bitch around.
Yeah, that would be cool, but, I mean, that, like, it just sounds like...
It's kind of busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find... I couldn't find it when I was doing the research and writing it. I'm trying to find how the Brotherhood gets them at the end of 3. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly...
Aren't they in Arlington?
Yeah, when you do the broken steel, when you, like, destroy the fucking, the base... The Enclave base at the end of Brotherhood of Steel, I'm pretty sure they, like, pick them up there? Which I think is explained.
Yeah, that's the only place that makes sense.
But they don't have them in 3, or if they do, they have like 2.
Yeah, they don't have that many.
Yeah, they're neat.
Yeah, they're cool flying machines.
Yeah, I have one little fun fact for you.
Wait, Kyle, do you want to say something?
No. They're neat until you blow them up with a mine.
Vertibird, the The word vertibird comes from a trademark for a toy helicopter playset popular in the 70s.
Really?
Yeah, so there's apparently a toy...
Do they have to buy that trademark?
I don't know, maybe. Unless, I don't know, because trademark's weird. You could... They might not have to buy it because it's not a toy. Like, maybe that's why we've never got a...
It's not a competitive product.
Maybe that's why we've never got a Vertibird figure.
Huh. Yeah, maybe.
Let me see something. Hold on. I'm looking up 1970s toy. Oh, wow, look at this. Oh, wow, look at this.
Does it look like the Fallout version?
Nope.
Oh, here it is. Oh.
Just looks like a toy from the 70s.
Huh. Yeah, it looks like a toy from the 70s. That's kind of cool. It reminds me of
seen something like that.
It reminds me of a ride from like an amusement park, like the planes that go up and then back down.
Yeah,
like somebody owned one, or I had one, or something like that.
It would,
but it wasn't like that. It was something else.
It would not surprise me if you had this. Wow, look, okay. So I clicked on. Do you think we'd get in trouble if we put the commercial on here?
I think if it's like under 15 seconds, we're probably fine.
It's 30.
I don't know.
Hold on.
We'll give it a shot.
I'll just put something here.
Announcing Vertibird, the new electric-powered copter with rotor blades that actually lift it into flight and precision controls that make you the Vertibird's pilot. Use your piloting skills to perform even difficult rescues. Hover into position. You've got him, the Vertibird, the copter it takes you to fly.
All right, so you may have already heard the audio. I might put like a quick little 10-second clip of it here or somewhere. You may have already heard it a second time. It's such a 70s toy. It's very much like my aesthetic of like, I would love to make little commercials and shit like this.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, one thing I love about YouTube is just going through going down memory lane with strangers. Like this comment from 2 years ago saw the first Vertibird in Kmart the year it was released. I knew it was special the first time I saw it. Somebody 3 years ago. Santa brought me this for Christmas in 1972. Thanks, Santa. Oh my God, what lovely memories. Imagine the face on the kid today. On a kid today. Oh, this is some boomer being a boomer. This and Major Matt Mason were my favorites. Good memories, but my brother with the glasses would lay on his back and I landed it on them. We laughed and laughed about it. Like, this is... Dude, look up, like, the Temptations. Like, any Temptation song and read the comments, and it's, like, always old people being like, man, me and Grace used to dance to this into the late hours of the night. Or people being like, my grandma used to play this all the time. Like, oh, dude.
Just, like, real, like, wholesome, like, thoughts and memories.
Yeah, like this one says, oh man, these bring back so many memories. I had one, but I think it was a later version because I was born in 71.
Oh. That's cute.
I had one. My dad made it a plug so I didn't have to use batteries anymore.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Sorry, this is Vince Reed's comments from very old people. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have on the Vertibird. It's something neat. It's not something that there's like there's a lot of document about it, but there's like not.
I was gonna say there's a surprising amount of lore for their lack of not only lack of importance, but lack of appearance. I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I looked, I probably could have found more. Like if I looked a little harder. But a lot of it was redundant. Like even when I was reading through a lot of like the other parts off of my phone, it kind of just felt like, oh well, I already said this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
right, yeah.
when I was reading through it, I don't know. I probably edited most of it out. That's about all I have on that. Do you want to say anything, Kyle?
I mean, if you looked hard enough, you'd find the rubble of where he crashed.
Oh my God! Can I tell the story again?
You can tell the story again.
Just for brevity.
Yeah. Just give us the like 5-minute like quickie version.
All right. So if you're not already watching or listening, you should go and listen or watch to Atomic Tabletop. It's Fallout, but D&D, and it's myself playing Ron Thaddeus Goulman, our friend Kyle, special guest Kyle here, playing
Oh, Dr. Victor Steinman.
And Olive.
I play everyone else.
Yeah, she's the DM. And then we have our friend Chris, who also plays, and he is playing
Gabriel.
I always want to call him Eli every goddamn time. He's playing Gabriel. This is the second kind of like Universe B that we're playing in, because these are some characters that we've played before, kind of in like an alternate reality from the one we played the first time. And we had encountered a character named Mick, and he was like, hey, we got to get to New York. And I was like, all right, well, my character had a lot of money at the time, and I was like, I can buy a Vertibird off the Brotherhood, if anything. And I spent 80,000 caps. I've told this story before. I've spent 80,000 caps on this thing. I think I was worth like 2 million at the time. I had a lot of hands and a lot of different cookie jars. And then we flew to New York. I was in the Vertibird for maybe like 30 minutes of game time. And Chris's character, who's playing at the time, was like a demolitions expert and had a bunch of mines. And he started activating the mines and throwing them out the Vertibird like frisbees. And
we're shooting at ghouls, I think, so we could land.
Something. It was just something to make a landing strip or a runway or a fucking helipad, a space. And he rolled a 1 to throw, and it landed inside of the Vertibird and blew a massive hole in Ron's Vertibird. And then I did not have a way to get home. So I found a car.
I still have the instructions.
We have the instructions.
I can rebuild it.
So
they're huge.
Yeah, we could always reverse engineer it, but that's my version.
You can always just like Lego it together.
Sure. Yeah, anybody want to say anything before we go?
No, but the commercial sounds really cool.
Yeah. So, all right. We have something we got to talk about.